All right, guys, let's talk about Jobber, the CRM software. Now, I'm going to show you one simple thing that I love about Jobber, and I'm using a little demo account here that I've set up. But there's a couple things that I've tried to find in other CRM softwares. I used QuickBooks and Workforce for probably the longest amount of time. I've used, what is it called, Honeybooks. I've used them for like a month or two. They just never clicked and didn't offer what I needed. I've also tried, HubSpot, Salesforce, and I'm not saying any of them are bad, but none of them really clicked with me like Jobber. Okay, and here's the reason why I really do enjoy Jobber. Is Jobber, it has something that I feel like a lot of them haven't figured out yet, which is an interface that saves me time rather than presents a massive learning curve for me to actually figure out how to use the software efficiently. So I jumped on Jobber, a year or so ago? A little over that, I guess. And basically, I hopped on for 14 days for free. I tried the free trial, no credit card needed, by the way. If you click the link below this video, you can get a 14-day trial. No credit card, anything like that. You can just sign up. All you have to give them is an email. And I just clicked around on it for 14 days. And I realized that they do one thing really well. They streamline your workflow and they give you a very easy and user-friendly interface. For example, when I look at my workflow, my front page, when I go onto my computer and I open it up, on my front page, it shows I have one request that came in, right? I have 2 quotes that have been approved, which means I need to schedule them. I have 0 jobs that need an invoice, and I'm awaiting payment of 2 payments. That's all I need to know about my business, right? I need to make sure that there's no new requests. I need to make sure that the quotes that I've sent out have either been accepted or denied or whatever it is. I need to know that I have jobs that have finished that I need to invoice, or I need to know that there are people that haven't paid. And that's all on the front page of all of this stuff, on this entire website. That's awesome. The other aspect of this is when I have requests come in, I can use all the information they put in to that request and create a client. So I don't have to be like, okay, awesome, like you requested something, let me re-enter all your information. It all goes through, wham, bam, it's done. And all of it is just transcribed. One thing I can't stand is trying to re-enter information, making sure you got the phone number right, making sure you got their name right, making sure you got the address right. For this, as soon as I go from request to quote, and from quote to job, and job to invoice, I'm not retyping anything up. It's all the same thing that gets reformatted for the request to the quote to the job to the invoice. That's all done on Jobber's back end, right? So for me, as someone who has ADD, who still has a check that someone gave me that I put in my back pocket and sweat all over from a week and a half ago, Jobber makes sure I don't leave things laying around for a week and a half, and I can just look at the end of my day. I look at all of my workflow. Hey, are all the invoices paid? Are all the job requests submitted to quotes? Are all the quotes that are approved scheduled for jobs? If not, I sit down, boom, boom, boom. I crank it out. I wait till everything drops to 0 or to wherever it needs to be. And then I move on with the next day. And I know that I'm not forgetting anything. Jobber does that for you. The other aspect, I mean, this is purely like the turnkey version of Jobber. It does so many other things. So you have their marketing tab. You have their reports tab. The reports tab is huge. So for time management when it comes to employees clocking in and clocking out, job time, expenses, if you go over to reports, you can see that there's a huge page that pops up with just all the different types of reports that you can get. Anything from project income, transaction lists, invoices, taxation, aged receivables, bad debt, client balance summary, visits, one-off jobs. I mean, it just gives you reports on every little thing that you could possibly want, but they don't muddy up your day-to-day portal and use with that stuff. So if you want to go to the reports, you go to reports and you get that detailed information. So for example, if I don't want to deal with that, I'll send my accountant or my assistant to go in there and deal with all of that stuff. Whereas I'm on the home page, I'm looking at clients, requests, quotes, jobs, and invoices. That's all I'm looking at. So I don't have to deal with all the taxation and the profit loss statements and the income and the clocking and the hours and all that other stuff. That's all in the background where it's not muddying up my day-to-day use. So I highly recommend you guys using Jobber. Check it out with the link below. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. I'll try to answer your question, or other people who watch this video can answer your questions. As someone who has significant ADD, as someone who owns a couple different companies, and I'm running through a bunch of different things a day, I love how Jobber keeps me streamlined, keeps me focused. It's very easy for me to click home, The page loads. Boom, I got 1 request, 2 quotes, 0 job needing invoices, and 2 invoices that haven't been paid yet. That's all I need to know. That's all I want to know. I can take care of those 6 things. I'm off to the races on the next thing. Check out Jobber, link below. I appreciate y'all. Much love.